Let's make just a little short one. The scum at the FBI. The President of the United States says that the senior echelons at the FBI are scum. Now, I kind of want to just lay this down very quickly because I got a low battery on my computer here. Trillions of dollars in real estate schemes, trillions of dollars in bank looting, trillions of dollars in mortgage scamming, predatory foreclosures, the biggest banks behind the biggest politicians in the country are involved. J.P. Morgan, Credit Suisse, Wells Fargo, Deutsche Bank, Credit Suisse. Did I say Credit Suisse? Superior Bank, Citibank, Wells Fargo. I said Wells Fargo again. This countrywide, let's see, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, vast numbers of mortgage funding groups like Paramount Mortgage Funding and Premier Mortgage Funding, and can't remember the name of the other one. Premier, Paramount, and Pioneer. There we go. Mortgage fundings out of Tampa, Florida. And other mortgage funding companies all over America are directly involved. And the out of control, just absolutely massive robbery of hundreds of billions, trillions in mortgage money. It staggers. It's mind-bending. It's so gargantuan and humongous, you can't even begin to wrap your mind around it. Some of the good information about how they did this has been memorialized, and I've written copiously about the wholesale looting of America's economy. The wholesale looting to the tune that the banks and savings and loans were bailed out for 16 trillion reserve notes. 16 trillion in bailouts. No wonder the stock market's hyperinflated and is it around, what's it around, Donald Trump? About 28,000, something like that? Your greatest economy in the history of quantitative easing. The greatest economy in the history of helicopter money. The greatest economy that $16 trillion bailouts can buy. You see, Donald Trump, the whole $28,000 Wall Street market has been pumped up and fluffed up with quantitative easing. Those, what do they call those, robo loans or repo? They're repo loans. And the robo signing and all this other hocus pocus mortgage fraud that's going on all over the United States. Now, there's a couple of people that'll watch this video and realize that when I say hocus pocus predatory mortgage schemes, they know that we're in federal court right now proving it. In fact, we've proven it. We've won one of the cases. We've won one of the cases. The bottom line here is, folks, is when Donald John Trump talks about the scum at the FBI, man, I can't help but think of all those real estate swindles and cons in Texas and the Houston office of the FBI and how they did nothing about it except cover it up, and how the headquarters in Washington, D.C. have been doing nothing but covering it up ever since. The scum at the FBI, are you sure about that, Donald Trump? I mean, I hate to wake up in the morning and, remember when they tried to burn my home down with their Britain Defender Fleer, the same exact Fleer aircraft that was used to burn down the Waco retreat in Waco, Texas. They dropped flares all over my house. And, old Sheriff Guy Williams, I guess he ran back to the office and locked the door and hid under his desk because I never heard back from the Sheriff's Department about any of it. In other words, they didn't do an investigation at all. And I had the remains of the flares. Yeah, they didn't want to touch the remains of those flares. They didn't want to do a forensics investigation because it would have led right back to the scum at the FBI. So, folks, I'm going to put this particular video out on the internet, and the people who know me best, my colleagues and my friends, they're going to realize that, wow, $16 trillion in real estate scheming and scamming connected to the Bushes, the Clintons, the Obamas, and you betcha good old Eric Schneiderman and Loretta Lynch and Eric Holder and Joe Biden and Hunter Biden and the Pelosi's and Sanders and Waters and, Feinstein and Warren and the whole thing just is directly connected to Donald John Trump, William Barr, and Christopher Wray, and Comey and Mueller and the whole freaking stinking pile of scum. They're all scum. How about that, Donald John Trump? We got us a problem with scum in Washington, D.C. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to leave it right there. And as always, hasta la vista. God bless. And look for all the information in the links. All the information you could possibly want concerning this issue is posted right below. Thank you for your time.